What's going on, guys? Welcome to the completed project.
So as Alex has said, we are here at the completed 6-bedroom HMO conversion. I'm excited to show you guys around. But firstly, Alex, how you feeling, brother?
From the first time we saw this property to now, it's crazy. I want to live here. I want to move in. I don't want to let any tenants move in, anything like that. I've got a couple of rooms that I'm eyeing up, so yeah, nice.
It's good, it's good. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like, because we like to create premium quality products, and that's what we've done for Alex. So I'm excited to show you guys inside. But without further ado, should we head inside, bro?
Come on.
Let's do it, let's do it. So guys, we are now standing in the new communal walkway. So what we've had to do in here is we've moved the front door access from the front of the house, and now we've moved it to the side to create this nice passageway for the tenants. Now this is going to be the new communal walkway. We've got our grade A fire panel for the house, again staying HMO compliant. And then if we now take you through, we'll take you upstairs into room 1 of 6.
So this is room 1 of 6 rooms in the property. It's actually one of the 2 that are upstairs. So it's crazy to see, because when we see the floor plans before, like the rooms are going to be a little bit smaller, but the builders have done an unbelievable job of maximising the space up here. This room actually has an off-suite that's kind of downstairs, so which is actually the biggest bathroom in the house. So that's a massive plus.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything Alex has said, and I feel like obviously we've done many of these projects, and working with experienced build teams and project managers, it allows you to kind of be able to find the extra bit of space to allow the room to feel much bigger. And the design element is something that you guys have seen before in some of my recent projects, but a lot of the actual furniture is from Alex and again his mum, the creative director. And I feel like I love how they've kind of complemented the wooden earthy feels to make it feel much more kind of like welcoming and homey. Again, you guys can see what we've done previously in a lot of our HMOs is the larder units. So they've got each tenant, which hasn't got a studio, has got their own microwave, kettle and mini fridge. Again, just to kind of allow the room to feel much more self-contained without being fully self-contained. I feel like that just makes it a much better feel to the HMO. So yeah, really happy with how this space has turned out. Should we go and check out the other room in the loft? Let's do it, let's do it. Okay, so now we are stepping into room 2 of 6. Now this is the second room in the loft, and I think we're really happy with how this space has turned out. So as mentioned, this scheme was originally meant to be 4 ensuite rooms with 2 rooms with a shared bathroom. But again, maximizing this space, we've been able to turn this scheme into 5 ensuite rooms with 1 off-suite, which not only increases the value of the property, but just makes it much more of a smoother process and much more of a more desirable HMO for the tenants. But again, really beautiful design. What do you think about all the different elements?
Do you know what? I think for me, I'm just a set and a half, man. So I just do what's told of me. So I feel like my mum's really, and yourself, have really brought this together. I feel like it's really captured the kind of target audience that we're going to go for.
100%.
So we're going for a professional audience. So I feel like everything, all the amenities, what they need are up here. Obviously, you've got some stuff downstairs, but I think, man, like as I said, keep saying about it, but from where we've come from to where we are now, like this is amazing, man. So this is bedroom 3. 3 is my lucky number. So it just had to be, this one was one of my favourite ones. We've got a little competition going on, whether it's number 3 or number 4 that are kind of looking. But in terms of the finish and everything, that, as I said, we're trying to go for with the kitchen. They've done an unbelievable job in here. Kind of the colour scheme. Shout out to my mum on that one.
Definitely.
But this room with the space and kind of the lighting as well, it's just yeah, I don't think this one's going to be hard to get.
Yeah, I think this one's really turned out really well, to be honest with you, in terms of the finish. And if you guys remember what it looked like before in terms of like the kind of old carpets, and even that back area there was very dark and dingy, like to be able to open it up. And again, very much credit to Alex's mum with the kitchen designs, with this marble finish. I feel like they've just done an absolute great job. And throughout the whole kind of like project, you guys will see a nice element of like gold detailings throughout. So there's little touches that we've done in this project, which I feel like has, one, made it kind of like personal to you guys, but also made it very much fit the target audience that these guys are going for in terms of that professional finish. And yeah, to be honest with you, like I do agree with you. This room will be hard to beat, and I do feel like this room would probably be the one that actually goes first, and you can charge like top dollar for it. I know that's very important to Alex. But yeah, we'll go down there and we'll show you also the ensuite as well as the actual room downstairs as well. And this part of the room is probably what makes it so unique, is that it's got that kind of divide. So the area we were just standing in before was kind of the like kitchen, living. They also had their desk area over there as well. So you're kind of like kitchen working area, and right down here is like where you sleep. As you can see, again, they've got the beautiful feature wall, nice pendant light, bed nicely tucked in the corner as well, wardrobe unit, and then obviously they've got their ensuite right over here. Again, beautiful 3-piece ensuite. And yeah, I feel like this design in this room is probably the best one if you ask me. I mean, I know we had a little competition between 3 and 4, but I might have to go with Alex's lucky number on this one and say 3. But should we head into room 4 and check that one out?
100%.
Let's do it. So now we are stepping into room 4 of 6. Now, this again is another high-end studio room. You can see Alex taking it all in. So yeah, this is the room at the front of the house, which of course is letting in so much natural light, so it really feels very open and airy. And they've got their kitchenette right up against the wall, kind of like out the way, bed nicely tucked in the corner. I feel like this is just a really nice open space for whoever gets this room. And then obviously Alex will be able to kind of show you what's happening in this corner, how we've utilised this space there as well. So.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, because when we saw the stuff at the beginning, it was just like, what are we going to do with this space? And I feel like we've utilised the space very well. Here we've got built-in wardrobes, which is this was kind of a key thing for us, because it kind of utilised that space under the stairs while giving kind of that seamless, like, there's no clutter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I know my mum's big on no clutter, so I've got to keep moving my shoes from in front of the door.
Very big. There was a lot of back and forth with this door. When we got there, the client is happy. That's
the main thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's the main thing.
So with coming through here, as I said, it's a good space kind of to get through. As I said, we've utilised it very well. It's a great sized bathroom as well. You've obviously got everything in there that you kind of need, and it's like, this is why I'm fighting whether it's number 3 or number 4. I think it's a good use of space in here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And what I actually just added on to what Alex has said, what I really like about how we've kind of utilised that space is that, if you guys will remember from the very first video, how that ensuite was actually part of the other room at the front. So we've really kind of utilised as much as the floor print as possible to allow for a really good functioning kind of like floor space for a tenant, and it's very much out the way as well. So it's just like, you kind of go into your ensuite, and as you can kind of see, Alex has already checked himself out in the mirror. Once they finish, they'll come out, check themselves out, and they're all really good to go there. But yeah, I think, should we head downstairs and maybe check out the communal kitchen?
100%.
Let's do it.
So now we're in the kitchen. It's a lot different since probably everyone's last seen it. It was
100%.
front room before, and man, I didn't even have the vision. Like, Sol was like, no, trust me. I was like, I trust him, but look, he provides. So like, it's a great finish of a kitchen, man. Like, it's something that I think a lot of people would kind of like to cook in, like to be in and stuff like that. So I feel like we've really catered to the kind of audience that we're looking for.
No, I completely agree with everything Alex has said there, in terms of, obviously Alex previously was talking in our video about, we had a chimney breast which was there, and with this being the second reception room, it's hard to kind of see how the space is gonna change. But again, because we've done so many of these, we've been able to kind of really utilize the space. But again, to be fair, using both Alex and his mum's design experience, obviously we've got the stacked washer dryer over here, and we've created a space which is going to be perfect for our 6 tenants. But really, this communal kitchen is only going to be used by maybe 3 tenants, because the other rooms are studios. So that's how we've been able to really maximize the space. And again, the design, the kitchen colors, that's all Alex and his mum. So they've done a fantastic job in making sure that they've gone for colors which really complement the space. And with the space being slightly smaller, using brighter colours really helps to kind of open up the space and make it much more kind of like open and airy. So yeah, really happy with how this kitchen's turned out. And then even Alex is happy because apparently Alex has always wanted to own a laundrette. So Alex, what have we got in the house?
So this is why the main reason is working with someone that's been in the industry that kind of does this, because you've got my mini laundrette here, so you've got the little
Coin meter. We call it a coin
meter.
Yeah,
so it's got a little bit of credit on it at the moment, so I might have run a few clothes through there. But it's kind of a good thing, because when we was kind of thinking about it, this is probably it can be one of the biggest costs
100%.
with bills and electricity. So like, the fact that we've got that there now cuts down the costs. Everyone's more accountable for what they put in there.
100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more. Anyway, Alex has said it all. Should we head into room 5? So now we are stepping into room 5 of 6 now. This is the room just off the kitchen, which funnily enough used to actually be the main communal kitchen. So you guys will remember, I think there was a boiler here, which me and Alex didn't know what to do with, but of course that boiler's gone and we've kind of really opened it out and it feels very nice and airy in here. They have their ensuite just off here, which is quite nice because again, it's got that nice kind of separation and I feel like it really works well in this space. And with them having their door here, it really creates this kind of like self-contained unit. So really this tenant doesn't actually have to use the main front door. They can kind of just exit and enter through their own side door. Again, that will kind of help in terms of attracting a more higher paying tenant, because you can kind of pitch them at, actually your room is like self-contained, like no one else is going to come in and out. So yeah, it was a really good feature that we're happy with. And then we've got the bedroom, or the actual room section of the bedroom just off there, which Alex can kind of take you guys through and describe what's kind of going on in that room.
Yeah, so we've utilised the space here because it was a bit before we didn't really know how to kind of do things, but we've got the kind of the wardrobe there, kind of looking at it. But I remember Sol speaking about it and he was just like, look, you need to keep this room like this. We had some different design plans, but the fact of the matter is that you come into this bit now and it's just like, this is literally kind of like a bedroom area. So you've like got 2 basically compartments for that kind of bit.
That's
So
a good way to look at it.
yeah, so now we're kind of in it and it's just like, man, it used to, what was it?
Wet room, wet room, shower room.
And I think it was like one of the only working toilets in the house.
Yeah.
As well, so like, to see where it's come from.
Didn't smell that good either.
No, we can't talk about that. But like where it is at now, it's just it's crazy. But yeah, hats off to you and kind of the vision of what you kind of see, and it's like really coming to fruition with this one.
Yeah, no, we're really happy with it. And again, we're happy that you guys are happy with it. And again, with this one being technically an ensuite, but still having that studio feel, it has got its own larder unit. The microwave will be going in there, kettle, and their mini fridge over there. But again, they also have direct access to the main communal kitchen very quickly. So yeah, this room, I feel like this will be a silent but violent one where you'll get a good premium rent for it and not really expect to get that. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this room's turned out. And then yeah, should we head into the last room, studio room, which is room 6, very much at the front of the house. So
last but not least, room 6. A lot different from kind of when we first looked at things. It actually had a partition wall here, so it was actually the entrance into the property. Obviously, we've kind of got creative with the entrance, and now we was able to maximise this space. That's a key word that I feel like
throughout the whole project.
Exactly, from a 3-bed to a 6-bed, you need to be able to maximise that.
I completely agree.
And like kind of like the finish in here, like. We was umming and ahhing, was this going to be a hard room to kind of let out? But like you kind of look at the finish and you look at the open space, especially being at the front of the house with the lighting, as Sol said before. Yeah. Like you kind of look at it and you're like, this is a room, a room that a lot of people are going to want.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Even again, as you say, with that big bay window at the front, letting in so much natural light, just the whole finish looks 10 times better, if I'm completely honest with you. Obviously the kitchen net going, the whole span, they've got their ensuite very much tucked out the way here, which is very nice. And again, making sure we're utilising the space. Alex has said we've made it all one big open space, got rid of the partition wall, made it just feel like, yeah, cool, this is your own studio. And this, again, another room similar to room 5 that we just come from. They can also exit and enter through the front of the house, which again makes it feel much more self-contained and much more like a studio feel. And again, this for me personally, this is up there with room 3 and 4. You know, that's how I feel. I feel like it's up there with one of those studio rooms. But yeah, if we head outside, we can show you what we've done in the garden area. We kept it very simple, but let's head outside and so we are standing outside in what is the communal garden. Now we've kept it super low maintenance in here, just trimmed everything back, new fencing throughout. But yeah, we're very happy. I'm very happy with how the spaces turn out, but maybe I'm biased. I mean, the more important thing is how are you guys? How are you feeling about how the project is? Yeah. How you think it's kind of been for you guys?
Yeah, no, firstly on the garden, it's kind of obviously from, if it's your own home, it's a little bit different, but there's going to be a lot of professionals in here that are probably not going to be too much in the garden, so you just want to keep something that's easily kept clean, tidy and whatnot. But in terms of the whole build, I didn't know things could be this easy, because you're kind of looking at it and you're like, we've turned this around in what, 5 months?
4 months. 4 months,
yeah. 4 months. So it's like, from where it came from to where it is now, man, I couldn't imagine it.
I completely agree with you. But I guess, obviously, with Alex being his first kind of like venture into like the HMO space and being able to kind of like utilise our experience, we just kind of wanted to make sure that we deliver to you a project that you guys are happy with, and you can kind of understand and get a better understanding of kind of how it works and what you can kind of do in like 4.5 months. So we're really happy with how the spaces turned out. We haven't really had that many kind of like challenges and hurdles throughout the project. As Alex has kind of said, it kind of felt relatively easy for him. I feel like, if anything, we've kind of sometimes had a bit of a back and forth on the kind of like design aspects and making sure that it's very specific to you and your mum, and making sure it kind of like fits what they want. Because at the end of the day, it's obviously it's your house, it's your HMO. It needs to feel right for the both of you, and I think that's been the most important thing. What would you say is the biggest lesson you've probably learnt from throughout this whole kind of like experience?
Women and design. Hopefully my
glad he said it.
I don't want to see this. I think the biggest...
That is so funny.
I think the biggest thing for probably us is kind of separating, but also keeping the fact that it isn't our home.
Yeah, 100%.
So like kind of there's a lot of stuff and a lot of details in there that we not necessarily would have in our home, but like kind of that you'd go into, but at the same time, kind of, for example, like the plug sockets. I think that's a big kind of characteristic on you're using or you're targeting working professionals, so they're going to need charging points and stuff like that. Them little details there are kind of going to give you the edge. And I think there's been a couple of things within the house you're like, oh, I wouldn't do that in my own home. But then you've kind of pushed back and been like, look, you've got to kind of separate the two. I understand that it's our first one and that kind of our emotion for it being our specific home, our own residence, is going to kind of come away from it, and it's going to kind of, you're going to look at it from more of a tenant's point of view. So I think that's the biggest kind of learning curve there, because I know that a lot of the stuff in the house, if we hadn't worked with you, would have just been, all right, well, not as practical. No, I definitely get what you mean there. And as I say, it's like, that's what these kind of projects are kind of about. And that's really, in a sense, why I say I work with like athletes and people like Alex, is because it's advising them properly on what is important and what isn't important. Because with a lot of projects, and I see so many developers who you just go to town and you spend a fortune on things which in reality a tenant won't care about. It's kind of knowing how and where to spend your money to get the best value for your tenants and for yourself, do you know what I mean? So for me, I feel like not only has it been a good collaboration, but I've kind of learned not only about how they want to work, but obviously moving forward, how best to kind of like approach things with them. So yeah, for me, it's been definitely a successful project, and I'm looking forward to you guys getting it let out. And also one thing I also want to say, obviously whilst we're on camera, is credit to you guys in terms of the beginning, in terms of how you navigated the pre-auction process, because obviously for anybody that doesn't know, it was quite a stressful process for you guys going through
not only your first auction and your first kind of like HMO property, but again, you're doing it pre-auction and there's more of a time constraint. And a lot of people would, well, I know a lot of investors who might crumble in that situation, but again, maybe it's the athletic background and being able to kind of rise up to the occasion. And that's definitely what you guys done. And you've been able to turn around the project and everything in such a good space of time that, yeah, you pretty much have done it like a seasoned pro. So yeah, definitely credit to you and your mum, and yeah, looking forward to kind of working with you guys more in the future and kind of seeing where we can kind of go with this. But yeah, very happy with it. Very happy with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed seeing what Alex and his mum has created. We've kind of just helped on the side, just like little side piece helping out over there. But yeah, I'm really excited. And yeah, any last words before we?
No, if you're thinking about it, reach out. I think that's probably the hardest step, is like kind of the unknown of not knowing whether to take the leap of faith. But listen, like if you're working with someone like Sol, it's like seamless. So yeah.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's important. Take action. Main thing. You got to take action. If you don't take action, you'll be sitting there in like 2 years saying, "Oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda." But by the time you shoulda, coulda, woulda, Alex has probably got 5 more HMOs. So just take action, innit? But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Again, any footballers or athletes that want to get in touch, please drop me a message, DM, respond to this video, and we'll be in contact to see how we can work together and do something similar to what we've done with Alex. But yeah, see you guys later.